Day trading recap for Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. This was the one trade I had today, Retrophin. It had some news today about flunking some study, so it gapped. You can see it was here yesterday, and it gapped all the way down to about 1250 from about, where did it close yesterday? 1740 to 1250, so that's a pretty significant gap. $5 gap is pretty big. So I was watching it in the pre-market and didn't find any move to make. I think usually I look at the 1 minute chart on the pre-market, and it was kind of all over. It was kind of holding VWAP, but then it broke VWAP close to 9 o'clock, so it looked like it was going to go down, and then it just kind of went down a lot. But it wasn't that tight, so it was hard to get into if you were trying to trade it in the pre-market. But I did get into it later on in the day, and the reason I got into it is because it started moving up and it started making a pattern that I liked, especially when you look at a 8 EMA and a 20 SMA, which I use together a lot. So it was kind of all over the place. It wasn't very tight. It still wasn't that tight as the day moved on, but you could see that it got above the 8 EMA, fell back below it. So it had this quick jump up. I shouldn't say quick, but this gradual jump, and then it failed it, but then it got above it again. So that second break of the 8 and 20 SMA, and the 8 crossed the 20 here, so they started moving together, and I liked that. And I got in, if you look at the 8 EMA, so I got in once it got back above the 8 EMA again. And you can see it from my VWAP, it was above VWAP pretty much all day. And it kind of hit VWAP and jumped, so that told me maybe it's going to be using VWAP as support. So I got in at 1283, right here at 1283, and it kind of moved sideways for a while, but then it had a big jump up, and then it moved sideways again, and eventually I just got tired of just being in it when it wasn't moving. It was still not tight. These candles had a lot of wicks. I didn't want it to suddenly fail 13, so I got out all my shares at 13.05 for a 22 cent gain from here to here, from 1283 to 13.05. So nothing tremendous. Decent move. I was happy with it, but I just didn't like what I was seeing in terms of these candles here. It was a little choppy. It was near the high. It was above the high of the day set at the beginning, but I don't know. It looks like it might start to make another leg up. I just didn't want to risk anything, and I didn't feel like scaling out because I'd been in it so long. I just wanted to take some profit and get out. But if you look, the one thing I did like about it, if you look at this 15-minute chart, you can see that it was, once it broke above the 10 EMA, it was kind of making higher highs. Oh, and there it goes. It just hit my first target, which was 1322. So I got out a little early, I guess. Yeah, that's a bummer. So that just happened. Oh well. At least I knew I was right about it, that it was going to continue up. I just didn't have the patience. I had been in it for about an hour and a half. It just wasn't tight enough for me. So that's too bad. I mean, I missed out on some profit between this 1305 and 1322. But that's going to happen sometimes. You got to play it safe sometimes, and that's what I did here. I wasn't thrilled with it from the moment I got in because it was so bouncy here that it was just whipping all over the place. It wasn't like a nice gradual move that you like to see. So I wasn't completely confident that it was going to continue moving up. I thought maybe it could come back down to VWAP, and I think my stop was above VWAP because it's just VWAP was way. I mean, I got in at 1384, 1383, and VWAP is all the way down at 12 something. So that would have been too far for me to set my stop. So yeah, that was a bummer, but still made money on it, and it was technically, from my trading strategy point of view, it was a winning trade because it hit my first target before it hit any stop that I had kind of put in place. So that's a good thing. So yeah, so I'll chalk this up as a win. Still made money, and I was happy with it. That's the only trade. I'm still looking. It's only 130, but there wasn't much to see today. There was one other stock that I was looking at, SQM, as a short. Yeah, see, now it has started to drop. I wanted to get in here, and I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because this looked like a false break of VWAP. Came back up, but then it broke VWAP again here, And I wanted to get in right here at 24.19 because I figured it could continue down again, and I didn't. So I didn't get into SQM, but it looks like it might keep going down. So that's it. RTRX. That was the trade for me today. And hope everyone had a good trading day. See you next time.